Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. We do sincerely apologize for our shortcomings due to some technical hitches. We begin. In spite of stark economic realities, ram sellers in the Federal Capital Territory say business has been booming. Although prices of the ram as high as the previous year, this has not deterred residents who have been thronging the market. Pai Samuel now reports for one of the Abuja main markets.
This is one of the popular ram markets in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Located just outside the city center, the market has been recording heavy human traffic, and unlike previous years, the traders are making good business. Until recently, they get rams from the northeast states of Borno, Yobe and Adamawa. But now, their focus is somewhere else.
This year's sales are far better than the last year's own. Most of the rams that we used to get from Yobe, Borno, Adamawa and neighboring Cameroon are no more coming from there. We had to go to Niger, Katsina side area before we get rams.
Now we are hoping that more people will come and patronize us. But to be sincere, business is better than last year. Some people will not want to buy the ram and keep. They will prefer us preparing it for them here. Someone just bought 150 rams from me.
These traders have a union to protect their interests as well as ensure a safer market.
Market is good for us this year compared to last year. Now with 15 to 25,000 naira, one will get a ram. No matter how much you bring here, you can get a ram.
An average ram in this market is sold for 35,000 naira, but there are orders in the 50,000 and above price range. Also, there are cows here for those who could afford them. But many Abuja residents are only glad to be celebrating Eid al-Kabir in a peaceful country.
Well, things are not as they should be because of the economy, but we thank God, at least there is peace in this country and we're all one.
Which is why, in spite of the stark economic realities, ram markets like this are booming in the Federal Capital Territory, and traders continue to smile to the bank. Pai Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The Eid al-Kabir is an Islamic festival to commemorate the willingness of Ibrahim, also known as Abraham, to follow God's command to sacrifice his son Ishmael. Muslims around the world take the festival very seriously, with the slaughtering of ram, symbolizing a sign of reverence to God and an avenue of receiving his blessings. Apart from the spiritual benefits, there are more to celebrations from Nigerians who anticipate the season with so much fanfare. Omotayalo was at the popular Kara Ram Market, situated along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and filed in this report.
Traders at this market say there is a very high possibility that all of these rams will be sold before and on the day of celebration. They say regardless of the cost and economic situation in the country, the ram market has recorded enormous boom.
Market is very nice. People, they come to buy the ram, come to buy come to go. As is today start, and as today, tomorrow, and as tomorrow, market then finish.
Ram na different. Around 40 wa, 50,000 wa, around 100 wa, 100 more than wa, around totoni. Akoi 80,000 a day, 90 a day, 75 a day, 30 gong wa, 20 babu, baragon 20,000 kota, around 20,000 agufeni, agufe rago kekere kotimbe.
Moruf Bashiru, who is one of the buyers at the market, says the slaughtering of ram is very important to Muslim faithful at this time, but acknowledge, however, that it is not a sin if an individual is unable to buy a ram due to financial constraints.
According to our doctrine of Islam, if you kill rams during the festive period, the reward you are going to get is the amount of the hair on that ram. If you can quantify the hair on the ram, then you know the exact reward you are going to get from Allah.
Maximizing opportunity at this ram market, Alkendi Adedoku, who came all the way from Ibadan to sell ram feet, and Salisu Ibrahim, who who earns his livelihood from assisting customers and traders at the market.
Before, we are selling it 100 naira, but now, as then they shout, they Haram, they worry them for not. They no see this thing buy for inside booth. They can't they buy for garage, so you can't they cost. Now, 500 and 500, we sell each one now. Market, they move very, very well. Go.
If person come buy for ram for house, you won't carry and go house, I go put rope for ram, make him put them for house, motor. Give me like 200 or 100 naira. Now what is they do that?
As buyers and sellers engage themselves passionately, the activities have also affected vehicular traffic on the road. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Acting Inspector General Police Suleiman Abba has directed all police commands nationwide to provide watertight security before, during and after the Eid al-Kabir festivities. He also ordered all zonal assistant Inspector General and commissioners of police in the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to take steps to provide adequate security at all vulnerable points. The police helmsman specifically wants security beefed up at all places of worship, recreation centers and other public places. The police have withdrawn the suit filed against a journalist with the African Independent Television, Amaechi Anakwe. He was to be charged for alleged defamation of character, but the police backed down, leaving an Abuja Chief Magistrate Court to strike it out. Anakwe was consequently discharged. Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 7, Joseph Imbo, had allegedly ordered the arrest and detention of Anakwe for describing him as controversial on a TV program. He was released later on Thursday evening on bail, but was charged for alleged defamation. In a related issue, the rights activists in Abuja have demanded the sack of Imbu over the arrest and detention of the AIT staff. They converged under the umbrella of a Say No campaign to lash out at the one-time Rivers State Police Commissioner, whom they accused of introducing the type of policing that created political crisis in his previous posting. The activists argue that Imbu's style of policing is dangerous to the corporate existence of the nation.
Imbu placed himself above the constitutional order in Rivers State, acted in manners that undermined constitutional authority and the constitutional structure of the country. Yet this same person was not only recalled and patted on the back, he was actually rewarded with a promotion and then made an AIG. That's the impunity in the system that we are talking about. And that's why we actually hold the IG accountable. That if the IG had not, the IG and the Police Service Commission, if they had not condoned the excesses of Umbu, he would not have been promoted, and he would not have seen his promotion as actually a pat on the back that his superiors are saying, well done, carry on, and do what you are doing.
Mr. Mbu is not just only controversial, he is a disgrace to the Nigerian police. So the reason why I gave you my particulars is the more of us that Mbu can arrest,
You should go ahead and arrest. Yeah.
the better for us.
Yeah.
You see, the challenge that we always have as a people is that we respect authority too much. There's authority consciousness that is mind-boggling for us. Mbu is an AIG of police, paid from taxpayers' money, and therefore cannot wake up according to his own whims and caprices to decide who to arrest, to decide who to detain, and decide who to take to court.
With continual human rights abuse by the police, Imbu, we want to call for his, actually immediate sack.
Yes.
He has to be sacked. Otherwise, we are going to petition the National Human Rights Commission. We are going to petition the National Assembly, relevant committees.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights.
We'll take a short break, and when we return, there's more story for you. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. help keep our country safe, and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Welcome back. Senate President David Mark and former governor of Lagos State and the nation leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, on Friday held separate closed-door meeting with former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The meetings were held at Obasanjo's hilltop residence in Abeokuta. Both Mark and Tinubu, who came ahead of the Senate President, said the issue discussed bordered on politics and the state of the nation. Emerging from the venue of the meeting, Tinubu said he discussed with Obasanjo some of his former boys who would vie for the various elective positions in the 2015 general elections, especially the presidency. When pressed further, Tinubu refused to expatiate on the crucial meeting, which lasted 2 hours ago. He later said there was nothing worth celebrating about 54th independence anniversary since the country remained an invalid baby in the incubator. Mark, who arrived at the hilltop residence at 2 p.m., left around 3:45 p.m., also described Obasanjo as the father of the nation with a wealth of experience. The Senate President told journalists after the meeting that he had come with his team, which included Governor of Delta State Emmanuel Duagam, People's Democratic Party women leader Joshua Aneni, and Polycarp White, among others, to discuss with Obasanjo and raise some basic issues that affects both the PDP and the nation at large. As Elections Tribunal continues its sitting on the results of the governorship election, the heavy presence of security personnel during the period has again attracted debate. At a lecture organized by the Association of Veteran Journalists in Osogbo, National Commissioner of INEC Lai Olurode possessed that security presence has become sine qua non to peaceful conduct of election at its credibility. Rashid was there and filed this report.
Against the backdrop of the recently concluded Ekiti and Osun State governorship elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission is again poised to make use of security agencies in the conduct of subsequent elections in the country. Making a case for the commission, the National Commissioner Lai Olurode at a public lecture in Osogbo says INEC, through the deployment of massive security, has been able to overcome rigging which had before the Ekiti and Osun experiences characterized election in Nigeria.
The introduction of improved technology is to enhance the process, but it is not going to be sufficient anywhere in the world. Because somebody is going to make a return, somebody is going to do the recording, no matter how sophisticated the level of technology that have been deployed. People themselves must keep a watch over the procedure. It's a complementary intervention. It does not imply that people should go to sleep because technology on its own cannot deliver credible results. In some countries, as a matter of fact, people are moving away from technology. They are moving away from electronic voting in some of the countries. So we should not think that technology, the introduction of electronic voting or the introduction of card reader is going to confer credibility on the electoral process.
The electoral body also keen on deploying the electronic card reader at the 2015 general elections, a position pushed by the APC to no success during the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun states.
The introduction of improved technology is to enhance the process, but it is not going to be sufficient anywhere in the world. Because somebody is going to make a return, somebody is going to do the recording, no matter how sophisticated the level of technology that have been deployed. People themselves must keep a watch over the procedure. It's a complementary intervention. It does not imply that people should go to sleep because technology on its own cannot deliver credible results. In some countries, as a matter of fact, people are moving away from technology. They are moving away from electronic voting in some of the countries. So we should not think that technology, the introduction of electronic voting or the introduction of card reader is going to confer credibility on the electoral process.
Judging from the experience of his party faithful during the August 9 governorship election, The Commissioner for Information in Osun State, Sunday Akere, commended Olurode, but was quick to point out the security flaws observed before and during the poll, especially as it concerns the treatment meted on some members of the APC.
My take on it is that everybody knows that with the mentality of Nigerian politicians, we believe that we must use some measure of force to assert ourselves at elections. Nobody is saying that the INEC should not use security operatives for election, but what we are talking about is over militarization. So we believe elections cannot hold, like he said, and which we all know, without the operatives being around, but overusage and abuse is what we are against. If the security operatives are ready to work the way INEC worked, as allowing
Meanwhile, Nigerians are keenly watching as various electoral reforms are being turned out by the Commission ahead the 2015 general elections. For them, the success or otherwise of this development will determine to a large extent the scorecard of INEC. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
The chieftain of the All Progressive Congress in Adamawa State, Abdul Razak Namdaz, has reiterated the party's confidence to win the forthcoming governorship by-election in the state. Namdaz defended the late takeoff of the state-wide campaign by the party.
It's a matter of strategy. Everybody knows how to pick votes, and we are politicians. After all, we have different parties, we have different policies, different programs. We must not start our campaign the same day. In any case, it is even an advantage that when they started, we did not start, so that we didn't clash anywhere. Let's do your own, I will do my own. So even if I decide to go on tour for just 2 days, it is my business. It is not supposed to worry anybody. This symbolic campaign moving from one local government to other is not even the main issue. It is this one that you move from one unit to the other, from one ward to the other. That is the thing. And for a long time, we in APC have been doing campaign. It is the PD people that are not campaigning because they believe they are in government, they have apparatus of government, so they can always use government apparatus to get what they want. But since we are in opposition, we cannot wait for them. We've been campaigning all along. It is now that they are thinking of this symbolic thing of moving from one local government that is called campaign. We've been campaigning all along.
He also stated that the insurgency in the northern Adamawa will not affect the party's chances or general outcome of the election.
It is not our wish that our citizens that are in Madagali and Michoacan not to cast their votes, even if it is going to be to my advantage. I hope I will have prefer people in those areas to vote for me. I will have known, rate myself as to how I'm being accepted or we are being accepted in those areas. So it is not our wish that, but it is an obvious thing, given the challenge. Nobody will go there as an INEC official to even go and with ballot papers to conduct an election. For your safety and for the person who is going to cast it, except it's only the Boko Haram members that will vote, and their names are now on the list, they're not even from that area. So it is a settled matter that elections should not hold in for us. That's how we prefer, because lives of people are more important. And but even given that, it's just 2 local governments out of 21. And if we will have 19 local governments council saying yes to a particular party with a good margin, I think all of us should take it in good faith. It is not our making. It is not brought by APC. Neither is it. So let's wait and see.
As a strike embarked upon by the Ekiti civil servants over unpaid salaries continues, health personnel under the aegis of Joint Health Sector Union in the state has also downed tools. Patients at the State University Teaching Hospital in Ado-Ekiti were forcefully discharged as health workers joined the strike.
The nurses, we are on strike as from this afternoon, 12 noon, because of our salary of August and September, which is yet to be paid.
I just now I deliver it. So it's because of strike. So that's what I had. That's why they discharge us.
Chairman of the Health Workers in Ekiti State, Shola Ojo, says their decision to join the strike follows a directive by the Joint Negotiation Council for all workers to down tools until salaries are paid by the government.
and some have been discharged. They are not taking any new admissions, and all these things will continue to be like this unless we are paid. When we are paid, we come back. We are not happy going on strike because we know our calling. We're supposed to save life and not to endanger life, but we don't have any.
The state government has, however, promised to pay all arrears as soon as possible. And over to stories outside Nigeria, leaders of the pro-democracy student group in Hong Kong have postponed talks with the government after demonstrators were involved in scuffles with opponents. The group said the government was failing to protect protesters. The supporters are angry at plans by China to vet elections candidates and have been occupying parts of the city. Hong Kong's leaders offered talks to defuse the situation after the protesters called for his resignation. But scuffles broke out on Thursday as people apparently angry with the disruption caused by the protest tried to dismantle tents and barricades. The Hong Kong Federation of Students, which was invited to negotiations with the government on Wednesday, said in a statement it has shelved the talks. A time and place for the negotiations had never been confirmed. And that's it on the news on the hour. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabena Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.